Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me, Martin. We're bringing you the second chance to look at your one-day special. Launched at 6 p.m. this evening, and very, very busy it was too. It is from the incredible Stamps by Me range, one of our favourites, one of your favourites, and it's called A Foreign Romance. It's a HD 3D, high definition 3D embossing folder and paper bundle, and it is beautiful. It reminds you of France in a bygone time with lots of familiar places and more. It is just stupendous. It really, really is. I think Tony's going to be really proud of this one because they are fantastic. So there's 6 embossing folders in total and this incredible paper bundle. I know that's a Fiat, but when I see that, I just want to go, Nicole? Papa? You need to be of a certain age to remember that advert. They're giggling, but I don't bet you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? No, yeah, you see you're giggling, but you have no idea. It was a very, very famous car advert, that was. Oh, my word. Okay, so, yeah, it's beautiful. I bet Tony Darroch will remember what I'm talking about. Now, look at these fantastic 3D folders. You've got that beautiful sort of like outdoor dining table. You've got curtains. You've got perfect for a wedding there as well. Obviously, it's all about romance. You've got that beautiful, I'm going to say church. You've got, oh, that's cool. You could put a picture in that one of the happy couple. And then you've got a very dapper chap there. That looks like Charlie going to court. No, I'm kidding. A very dapper and just a fantastic collection. The artwork is beautiful. They are 8 by 8 sheets. I've got some examples here. Obviously, we've got a Le Tour Eiffel right there. Okay, so that's beautiful as well. Ow. And then we've got that car. I know it's not the right car, but when I see that, I think Nicole and Papa. And then we've got, that could be any of government building. It could be the beautiful department store. It just could be lovely apartments. And then we've got that. That's beautiful. I love the slight blurriness to it. That would be a lovely little cafe somewhere along the back streets near the Eiffel Tower. We've got the sign there with all directions on it. And just again, lovely colours. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. And here we have the Parisian cafes. And then obviously those are repeated. What a fantastic collection. I think I'm going to get, oh, and tell you what, before I get the lady herself in to talk about it, let me just tell you about this hour's happy hour, which I have right here. This is called A Little Love, so it goes really, really well with our foreign romance collection. It is a beautiful collection of 6 pieces in total, a die collection which includes those dies there. So you've got sentiments, you've got the backing, and you've got the main image. I love the wrapped heart and the flower. And look at the price. It's £8 and 9p. £8 and 9p for this. That's with Valentine's round the corner. That's a really nice collection. And as usual, typical of Tony, it's all been very well thought out and put together. So let's bring the lady herself in to talk about this wonderful one-day special. I am, as I said at the beginning of the show with Stephanie, Toni, I am very glad that you're not here. Not because I don't want to see you, but quite simply because we're all swimming down here in Oundle. Roads have been closed, and I can imagine the drive from your place would have been an absolute nightmare. So I'm glad you're safe up there, but you can still be with us to talk about your one-day special.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kindness there, Martin. It is damp, isn't it? Damp and wet, and has been for, what, months now, but it's getting worse. I think this is the worst before it gets better, hopefully. We'll see.
Right, tell me a little bit more about this wonderful one-day special, Toni, because it's been really, really popular, and we'd love to know your thoughts behind this and how it all came about.
Thank you so much, Martin. So basically, we've brought this forward a month for you. I was asked to do some extra shows, so you're getting it early, you're getting a sneak peek by a month. But this is our romance collection, so this just tells a beautiful story. And Martin, going through those papers there, I felt like, oh, I would just love to be there right now. It transports you to a magical place. So you get the wonderful paper collection with the buildings and the car and everything else. And then you also get those wonderful 6 high-definition embossing folders as well, which are totally awesome. I was asked for some wedding embossing folders. So although they might come across as wedding with the lady and the gentleman and the abbey and the seating, Obviously, they can be utilised all year round if you want to. So proms, weddings, anniversaries, cabarets. The table for the seating could be a Christmas card if you wanted it to, if you're having the family around. But our high definition embossing folders give dimension on the front and on the back. We've got tons of things in the show that can be built in to make your cards look absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to do a ton of demos this evening. I've got it ram-packed, and earlier we did some clean and simple cards, if you remember. And then tonight we're going to do some inky techniques just to change it up a little bit. So if you missed the earlier show, go back and check it out. But I'm going to try and use all of the embossing folders in this one show.
Sounds fantastic to me. OK, let's give everybody a quick reminder. By the way, you might see a bit of interference. To be honest, we're lucky that we've even got a signal, to be honest. I'm surprised all the stuff hasn't gone off around this area. Somebody's only got a sneeze outside and the internet goes down. So, you know, we're quite rural here, folks. So it's really, I'm really pleased that we have got Toni there, or else I'd just be stood here for 57 minutes telling you how great this is. But no, we get to see some crafting. So a quick reminder then, it's 023 535, the brand new Stamps by Me, Foreign Romance, HD 3D embossing folders, 6 of them, and paper bundle. And I agree with Toni, these images are awesome. I'm lucky enough to have been to Paris probably 3 times in my life, you know, Disneyland, and then a couple of times for a weekend or a long weekend. And I recognise quite a few of these scenes, and it's a very, very romantic city, incredible place. And it's just, it recreates it right there. But when you see those images, they could be anywhere in the world. The colour and the design of them just recreates that sort of romantic feel. Here's some of the examples that the team have made. Just beautiful. And what you probably, well, you'll find out in the next few minutes, is the quality of Toni's high definition 3-dimensional embossing folders are extraordinary. It's always difficult to show the depth of embossing and the quality, but you can see on that one the chairs are almost jumping out of the image, aren't they, without me having to angle it to show you the shadows cast by our studio lights to show you the depth of them. They're fantastic embossing folders, and I'm looking forward to, I'm sure you are, to Toni showing us some more. So I'm going to throw it over to her. I'll keep quiet, and I know that when she's ready to chuck it back to me, she will do.
Thanks, Martin. I'm just going to run away with the show, and just feel free to tell me when to shut up, Martin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the embossing folders first, run through on some black and then highlighted with white. I've done like a chalkboardy feel this evening. So first off, let's have a look at the first one, which is this incredible easel. So here we go. So if I tilt that forward, you can see the dimension in there. But although we're saying it's a romantic collection and a wedding collection theme, if you want to put it in that sort of niche, then you can do that. But equally look beyond what they physically are. I'm thinking a paintbrush for a painter, a crafter. You could put a family photo in the easel. I did a picture of a window in the easel earlier today. So this one is the easel. Then we have the lady and the gentleman, which I think is only available in the bundle now. So we have the lady and the gent looking at each other. But this could be for a 60th wedding anniversary. This could be for newlyweds, 1-year anniversary. It could be for a wedding. It could be for so many things. Maybe a prom. Maybe you've got teenagers going to a prom. Then we have Jasper, which I did Jasper as an independent because I appreciate now we have cards that require 2 gents or 2 ladies. And the lady on this one is easy to take away, but it would have left our lovely gentleman here. Let me just move this over. If we'd have taken the lady away from this gentleman, he would have had 1 leg. So I decided to do Jasper as an independent. So if you wanted to do 2 guys on a card for a particular theme or wedding, Jasper's got you covered. Then we have our wonderful curtains, which is cabaret. I love these. So this is like a workhorse from the collection. Put some bows on the sides if you want to, add some sparkle, cut the centre out and add a family photo if you wanted to. This is a really, really cute one. Then we have my favourite, which is the Abbey with all of that wonderful detail. So here we go here. So if I tilt that forward, the dimension and the layers are incredible. And the cool thing about HD 3D is the very fact that you have dimension on the front and on the back. You can decide. And then we have family gathering. I think this is my second favourite, where you get all of the lovely detail in the chairs. You've got a centerpiece. So it could be, again, for a celebration, a wedding, or it could be a Christmas table. It can be anything you want it to be. So you get the total 6 embossing folders. And then you also get sort of like this paper pad absolutely free, which is wonderful. And it is a foreign romance, which Martin's already gone through quite beautifully. So I don't need to go into too much detail, but it's got the tones of pinks, the greens. It's uncoated as well, so you can stamp onto it, you can heat emboss, you can watercolour, all of the good stuff. So I'm going to crack straight into our first demo. Please shout if you just want me to shut up at any point, but let's crack straight on. So first demo, I said I was going to do some inky techniques. So I am going to use one of our painted mounts from the painted mounts that are in the show, and we'll talk about those in a second. But I think on this one, we'll do Abbey. Sorry, it's my favourite. You know, you just have your favourite. Tomorrow, it'll be a different one, so I'll touch on a different one tomorrow. So here is the wonderful Abbey. Now, the HD 3D has the detail on the front. This tells you that it's the front of the embossing folder. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to ink it up. We're going to play around with a bit of colour this time. Now, you're probably thinking, ink it up? On that, why would you ruin that? Because this is sort of like going to give me a really artistic feel with my card. So I've got a black, I've got a brown. I like the oxide effect. So if you've got your oxides, and you can't beat a good oxide ink. And then you've got your blue as well, so you can go with any colour. I picked sort of 3 colours that I felt were in the painted mounts, which are in the show as well. So let's just go black, because I feel like probably a ton of you won't use black because it's scary, but I'll show you how to recover it if it doesn't look great. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the embossing folder. So swish it around. You're probably thinking, oh, what's she doing here? Honestly, some of the best techniques with embossing folders are found through absolutely playing. So play around. It is only a bit of card. Experiment with a bit of card. If you don't like it, put it in bin, move on. So here is the other side. I'm going to do both sides because I might like the other side better, and I have options then. So I'm just going to do rat-a-tat-tat on here. So I've got all of that detail there, and I've got all of the detail there. Let's just give this a nice finish. And then you can spray with water if you want to, shall we? Let's spray it with a bit of water. So spray that side and spray this side. And then I'm going to take that lovely pre-printed painted mount. Now, these are 300 GSM. They carry water beautifully, okay? So I'm just going to pop this into my embossing folder like so. Then I'm going to bring that detail down. And you're probably thinking, oh, no. Oh, no. I can't sing for top it, but let's just run this one through. So what's going to happen is all of that ink is going to transfer over to that painted mount, and it's going to look like a hot mess. But honestly, you have to trust the process. And I hate to say the word honestly because it sounds like I'm never honest. And I hate the words trust me when I say, because it sounds like you should never trust me any other time. I hate those sorts of words. But when you see the process and how the system works, you just have to have faith in your own creativity, I believe, sometimes, because and trust the process. So let's just have a look here. So now we've got this sort of like hot mess, and then when you bring it through, this is what you're left with. And in the background, you still have all of the flowers and you still have all of the detail, but what it's done is it's brought that abbey to the front, and in that abbey, there is a cluster of roses just working their way through that design there. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. These clean beautifully. They're workhorses. They're indestructible, inexpensive. So just give them a clean under a tap. They'll be absolutely fine. So let's just move this one across.
Tony, I'm just going to jump in. Tony, I'm going to jump in for just a second, just to say, trust me, I honestly hate those words as well.
Really?
Yeah, trust me, I hate that as well.
Oh, it's awful.
I know. I just need to jump in just for 1 second. I'm only a puppet here, remember. I'm doing what I'm told. Back to you in a second. I just need to give you the details of our creative mounts. We've got a set of 5 of them here. It's the best of mounts from Stamped by Me, a bundle of 5 creative mounts packs, all different sizes. They're absolutely gorgeous. There's floral hues, there's floral bouquet, floral art, in the countryside, and I can't read that, it's too small. Changing seasons?
Changing seasons.
Yes, changing seasons, got it. Brilliant, thanks to the varifocals. They are just £31.46. They're always popular, these. Don't miss out on your opportunity to get the creative mount packs. Also in the show, we have some Well, I'm not going to call it glitter. It's media glitter. It almost looks like broken glass. Okay. And it's colourless glitter, colourless media glitter. I might just get Toni to explain a bit more what I could do with that when we go back to her. But that is the Stamps by Me colourless chunky glitter. Because it says colourless, I'm wondering whether you can colour it. What do you reckon, Toni? Am I right? Or is it just to be used as it is?
You've been in this industry far too long.
You're telling me.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah, it's so true, Martin. So basically no colour. So when we say it's crystal clear embossing folder, normally it has a hue or some form of iridescence, whereas this is totally clear, no colour at all. It's not glass, but it gives you the glass-like finish. So it catches the light as you pass, and it gives you sort of a wet appearance on your cards, which gives you a lovely shimmer and shine, but no colour. Because what happens normally with colour is it sort of fights with your card if you don't want any colour on your card. So this is totally colourless. However, you can add alcohol ink to this and change it to whatever colour you want to. So what some of my friends have done is they've put some in a little pot, and then they've added a drop of alcohol ink in each one, and they've got several glitters giving you that shimmer and shine. So it's a really, really good one to have in your stash, because you get obviously the multi-purpose element of it where you can change the colour yourself. But I just like the effect of having colourless glitter. It's brilliant for snow, because snow is white. It's colourless. It doesn't have an undertone of purple, green. And I also like it for like lights and things like that in the winter months, so you can put a hue around your light without any colour.
Perfect.
And it's chunky, which gives you a lovely texture.
Perfect. Thank you very much indeed, Toni. A brilliant explanation of what you can do with your colourless glitter. A couple of other items to mention before we go back. Let's talk about these, which are watercolour brights. Now, you saw the mounts, but take a look at these. You get both of these together, watercolour brights and watercolour artistry. They are paper pads, and they're 7x5 paper pads. And they're those wonderful sort of swirly backgrounds that you wish you could make but have never got it right, and here they are done for you in paper pads. For example, this one, look at that, that's some leaves which have just sort of like melted, and there are some more leaves in there with a nice foggy background. Look at those, they're awesome, aren't they? So these two together, watercolour brights and watercolour artistry, $14.39, another brilliant price. Before I go back to Toni, I've just got to mention the happy hour one more time, because obviously you only get an hour on the price for this one. Half of it's gone. It is a fabulous die collection with a beautiful, sort of like a wrapped heart. It looks like the heart's got a bow around it maybe, with the beautiful rose on there as well. Really, really like that one. And of course, you've got some sentiments in there as well. 659 889, your happy hour at just £8.09, saving £10.90. Okay, now I did interrupt Toni, but I did need to show you the other things in the show. But let's go back to her right now, shall we?
You can interrupt me anytime, Martin. Hey, the other day when you was on with Sarah from Funky Fossil, I emailed in, you know, I was like, oh, two of my favourites on air, Martin and Sarah. And then I put in brackets, Sarah, you cannot keep Martin. He's mine.
Do you know what? That never came down to me. I'm gutted. I'm gutted.
I know. I was gutted. I thought they're probably not reading it out because I've been... can share Martin.
No, not at all. Okay, right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Toni. Let's get back to these wonderful foreign romances, shall we?
Of course. So you just saw me put some black ink on that embossing folder and how that lovely abbey's come to the forefront. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I did add a little bit too much ink, all you need to do then is just grab a white ink and just push it back again, or a gold ink pad and add a shimmer or a hue. So I'm just going to wipe, or swipe, should we say, the whole design here with my ink pad. And I'm going to actually do it on the back as well, because I feel like the back's a little bit dark for me. I am a pretty clean and simple card maker. So I'm just going to push the back back a little bit with this white ink pad as well. So top and bottom, side. And if you get any like lines and things like that, you can. So now I've got something that looks quite slate-like, but I'm through the abbey. I can see a whole bunch of roses peeking through. It's absolutely incredible. It looks really pretty. So when you come to pop this onto a piece of black, look how it pops beautifully. Now I'm thinking a christening. You could have a ceremony of some form, whatever that may be. It could be commune or something like that. And then all it would need is a sentiment. And here is one that was done just in a little bit lighter, so less black. And then you can see the roses on the exterior too. So play around with your colour and you get two totally different looks. These are both the mounts from that mount collection. So I just want to show you these mounts. They're 300 GSM. They are incredible. They were originally done so you could just stick a sentiment on them and be done, make it look like you had done these cards yourself. However, the techniques with our embossing folders have come so far that people have started using these with our embossing folders, inking them up, running them through, and the effects that you can get are absolutely mind-blowing. They are incredible, and you get a whole bunch of the different mounts in there. Florals, you get some wintry scenes too, and you also get some like hues with the rise and fall. So that's the Abbey, total favourite, and you saw me do a cool demo with that one in the last show, and I'm just going to show that one because if anybody's tuned in tonight, you need to see the demos that we did. Look at this one on the vellum. So if I tilt this forward, there we go, you can see, look at all of that detail. You have the windows, you have the balcony, you have the cross on the top as well. And this is just to show you that play around with texture, layers, vellum, and you get totally different looks. Look how they look, and then look at what the ones that we've just done. I mean, you couldn't get two different cards so different from the vellum on there. Sorry about that, I'm doing it under the iCard. So that's Abbey, absolutely gorgeous. Now, you can cherry pick as well, don't forget that. So let's move on to our next demonstration. I've got a whole bunch here. I'm going to do this one here. So we have the car, and then we have this one as well. Now, I've just chopped the, it's the front actually, yeah, the front of the car off, because I'm going to use this part for Jasper. So Jasper is totally cool, he's very dapper, he's got a lovely suit on, and this could be every age. It could be a 15-year-old for a job interview, it could be a 100-year-old male receiving his card from the Queen for his great, fantastic age. That's why I absolutely love this one. So let's get Jasper and let's run him through on this piece of cardstock here. So I've got the excess that I cut from here. I'm not going to waste it, okay, because the papers are incredible. I'm just going to pop Jasper down the side here, and he's going to have a little bit of detail in him this time. So let's get a little bit of the cobble on his trousers, a little bit of the tree, and we'll run this one through. Now, the cool thing about these embossing folders is they look absolutely amazing on the front and the back. That's the cool part about our high definition embossing folders. They look awesome in both ways. Let's just clean this off before I make a hash of my card, and we'll run this one through. So easy. And the other lovely thing also is that you can fussy cut these with ease. They're not too complicated around the edges. They give a lovely finish, and you don't have to be the best cutter in the world because you've got that rise and fall. You can cut them with ease. So let's just get Jasper. And, oh, did it move? Oh, it did move. It's fine though. So if I tilt that forward, you can just see Jasper through there, but I've lost him a little bit. He looks a little bit ghost-like. So we need to bring him back to the foreground of this pattern paper. And again, the same way that we did in our last card, we just grab a white ink pad. Now, you can do it with a brush. I just like to swipe. And then I just like to, if I take this and just dot onto Jasper, he will instantly, his feet and everything will come to life. And there we go. He's back on my, ta-da! He's back on my page. Super, super simple. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enough on there. And then I'm going to show you how easy he is to cut out with the world's biggest scissors. And we'll just cut him from this page. So don't waste your papers. And don't forget, these embossing folders work incredibly well with all of the papers that you have from other lovely brands from Create and Craft too. They don't have to be utilised with just my products. They'll work with everybody. So if you have a favourite brand that you love, now's the time to get those papers out. Let's stop sniffing them and let's actually get them used, which is totally awesome. So I'm just going to do this round his feet. Now, you could paper piece his suit back on. There is a lovely sample on set with you, Martin, where the dress and his suit has been paper pieced back on. But again, pick up a paintbrush if you want to, paint them. You can do as you please, really. That's what I love about them. There's no rules. Embossing folders have been around for donkeys now. I'm not teaching you anything that probably most of you don't already know. It's just how we apply them to our cards that's probably a little bit different now. So just clean it off. And then with the car, I felt like we would do the curtains. Love the curtains, love, love, love. So I'm going to take the car. I'm going to pop the car into our embossing folder, try and get my curtains straight. We'll go in the centre. And then we will run this one through and we'll highlight this one with. Now, don't forget, I mean, I do like to highlight with white. I think it gives a cool effect. But you can highlight with any colour you have in your stash. So if you have your oxides, if you have a gold metallic ink, we have some gold inks coming and some lovely silver inks coming, some rose gold inks coming for you all as well. So you'll be able to swipe those in the same way that you do your white, and it'll give you that sort of like flash of sparkle as it catches the light. Very simple in design, but like a wow factor card. That's what I like about embossing folders. You get a lot of bang for your buck, as we would say. So let's just run this one through. And then let's have a look at this one. Now, again, you're probably not going to see the detail, but if I tilt that forward a little bit, you can just see it cascading through. But let's get our ink pad and bring this to life. Super. Oh, excuse me, sorry about the noise. Just grab our white ink pad here. And then again, we're just going to take the ink pad to the design and watch our curtains come to life. You already can see the tops of the curtains here coming to life. And then this one here. You can see. And then down by the base here. Look how awesome that looks. It actually looks like there is a set of curtains in front of this car. So we'll just do it all the way down. Really pick up that detail at the base too. Now, because I'm using a pigment ink, I should really dry it off with my gum, but I'm just going to go ahead and get this on a card because I've got a ton of stuff I want to show you. But look at that now. How impressive is that on that lovely patterned paper there? Really, really pretty. I mean, that is just a piece of paper through an embossing folder and done. Shouldn't be that easy, really, card making, but it totally is. It is in my world anyway. So let's get this onto a pink card because we've got a nice pink tone running through here. So I think pink will look nice. So for speed, I'm just using a tape pen. And we'll just get this onto here. Super easy. And I feel like if we put Jasper on here, he's still getting a little bit lost. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my white gel pen and I'm just going to bring him to life a little bit more. So I'm just going to go on the inside of his arm, his leg. Now, don't be afraid to get your watercolours out. Even though we've done it on patterned paper, get a brush, add some detail, maybe push the whole thing back if you wanted to. You can totally do that. It's got some buttons here. Let's highlight his buttons a little bit more. He's got a dicky bow on. Shall we make him a older gentleman with grey hair? Well, white hair. Let's just colour his hair in there. So you could possibly personalise to the person as well. So now he's got a nice shock of white hair. He's a very mature man, which is awesome. And then just down by his leg here, then his foot. Let's catch the shine on his shoe. And let's just get this gentleman onto our card. So he's going to be stood in front of the car and the curtains like he's waiting for his partner. Did have sentiment as well, but that seems to have disappeared slightly. So I'm just going to pop him off to the side of this curtain here. You could actually, let's bring him in a little bit. And there you have, quite simply, a super simple card, 2 embossing folders and a piece of patterned paper. Should it be that easy? I'm not sure. But there we go. So there's Jasper in front of that cute card. And I'm just going to show you the Jasper that we did in the last show to show you that if you want to do a gents card with 2 males in the same one, because there are gents that marry gents, and that's okay. So here we are in grey as well. So you have options with Jasper too.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, Tony. I'll be back to you in just a couple of minutes' time. I need to remind everybody, if you're just tuning in at 9:30, what you're getting. This is Tony Darrick's one-day special. It's called Foreign Romance. You've got 6 high-definition, 3-dimensional embossing folders and a beautiful 8x8 paper bundle with some real images that sort of create that sort of Parisian feel. But it could be any country in the world. I guess really the Parisian feel comes from the fact that there is an Eiffel Tower image in there, but it's just beautiful. Whichever way you look at it, the colours are gorgeous and the images are fabulous. But those 3D embossing folders are beautiful. So many people going for it. It's on Flexi if you want to spread the cost. It's 023535, its item number. Do not miss out on this one. Many of you went for it in the launch show and many of you going for it tonight as well. Now, of course, if you're a club member, you get lots of great benefits. One of those is free access to all of the live events which are coming up soon. Here's how you join the club.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Now then, we need to say thank you to our dedicated customers. They really enjoy us and our huge range of great products.
We should make them feel part of a club.
A Create and Craft Club! Brilliant! I can see it now. For just £10 a year, our club members will get
10% off everything they buy.
Yes. What else?
We could do weekly offers and vouchers exclusively to our club members.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we must give them a monthly e-newsletter so they can see what's coming up before anyone else.
And early access to all of our promotions.
That is brilliant.
Could we give them free entry to all crafting live shows?
Great idea.
And we should automatically enter them into a monthly prize draw.
Our club members will love that.
But what if they want more?
Club freedom.
I like it. Club freedom. For just £10 a month, we could give them...
How about free UK standard P&P?
I love it.
We could also give our Club Freedom members exclusive weekly vouchers too.
Everyone would love that.
That's because everyone will love our Create and Craft Club.
Now, we must make it easy to join.
Not a problem. They just go to createandcraft.com. It couldn't be simpler.
If you love crafting,
Then you'll love the Create and Craft Club.
There you go, everything you need to know about the club. Very warm welcome back. Thanks for being with us. Of course, we have Toni Darrick in her own home studio, and I'm glad she's up there safe because we've had some major flooding down here in Oundle, and I'm sure wherever you are, if you're in the middle swathe of the country, it's been particularly bad this afternoon. I think that some of the roads on the way home are still closed, but I'll find that out in about half an hour's time. If you never see me again, there we go. It's been nice knowing you. But I tell you what we will do is we will get you back to Toni and get some more demonstrations in, because this set deserves the love that it really does, because it is a beautiful collection. So back to you for now, Toni.
Thank you, Martin. So I'm going to use the bride and groom on this one. Now, as I said before, the lady can be separated from the groom. Okay, if you just cut her away, she can be an independent on her own. Okay, I'm also going to use in the countryside the painted mounts. Now, these are 300 GSM. They have that crease-like effect as if they've been printed onto old papers. These went down an absolute storm when we launched these a few months ago. So top up, these are simply what's left. So with this one, with the black, I showed you earlier, didn't I, that if we did the table, the gathering around the table in the white, if you popped it in the centre, it had that lovely sort of storytelling effect with that lovely church in the background and the trees and things like that. So what I did whilst we were off there is I added some sparkle to this. This is just my new glitter glue that's coming this year. So I just added some sparkle to it. So here it is without the gathering, the table gathering, and here it is with. So you can see the difference, how just one embossing folder simply elevated that piece of card. Beautiful without, beautiful with. You make the decision. So I'm going to do the bride and groom with this backdrop. So I'm just going to set that out of the way. And I'm just going to use the embossing folder. Now, again, I'm going to use a black, or you could use a, let's go blue with this one. So I've just got some oxide here, and I'm just using some pearl cardstock, nothing fancy, I don't think. So I'm just going to take the ink to the embossing folder. Not too precious about it. You don't have to worry about it being perfect, remember. Just pop it on there like so. And you can use any colour you want to. So if you've got a pink card theme, use pink, blue, navy, denim, grey, vintage, whatever you want to. And then you just pop the cardstock into the embossing folder. Now remember, HD3D is the front of your embossing folder. So let's just pop this in here like so. Oh, try and get it in. There we go. And then we'll just run this one through. Now, this one I didn't spray. The last one we sprayed, and it was really dark, wasn't it? So this one, I'm not spraying. And that's the beauty of playing around with your craft. Spray, not spray. But if it doesn't look grey, it's okay because I can reposition it and spray it. So I've not lost anything. So let's just run this one through. So all of that ink should transfer across nicely. So these embossing folders give you the sort of line art effect. So now I have the bride and groom in a hot mess, but that was my intention because I'm going to cut the bride and groom away. Let's see what the, and how you can see how you get this wonderful letterpress because of that high definition 3D. You get a beautiful image on the front and on the back. Now I'm just going to show you again, as I did with Jasper, super easy. I'm just going to cut them away. And this one's in the blue. I have got one already made, ready to go. And I did that one in black. So I'll show you in a second. But I want to show you start to finish how we get these types of effects. Because sometimes when you look at the cool cards that my design team do for you, they are fabulous. But it's like, where do you start? Where's the starting point? So if you don't quite catch my demos, you can always scan that wonderful QR code on the back of every single item we bring to you here on Create and Craft. And that's just me holding your hand throughout the whole process and encouraging you to utilise what you've bought from me. You've invested in me, so I really do want you to use them, and I really do want to help you in using them as well. So I have the bride and groom there, but it's still a bit odgy-spodgy. I'm not in love with it at the minute. So I'm going to just get my paintbrush, and I'm just going to grab a bit of water because it's an oxide, and I'm just going to move the colour around a little bit. Obviously, this paintbrush is very dirty because I've got a hot brown mess there. So let's, there we go. So I'm just going to take some water, and what will happen is it'll activate the oxide and it'll just push it around. So I'll keep the nice, precise white lines. And what we'll do is we'll just colour in that space. Now I'm wetting it all over. And then what I'll do is I'll take my tissue and I'll pick up the excess ink on there. So now we've got a gentleman that maybe looks like he's in a denim suit for an occasion, or it could be in a nice cloth suit or something like that. So let's just colour the detail in there. And then just get a tissue here and then just mop up the excess. If it's a little bit dark, push it back. So, and you could keep going in with your water and pushing it right back until you're happy. It now looks like that Dalton-y colour type style, like the expensive pottery colours, if you like those. So you could choose and utilise your colour as you please, add the water and pull it out, or make it as dark or as intense as you want to. So, like so. And there we have a lovely detailed bride and groom. So I did the same concept with this one in black. But what I did was I added some glitter glue to a gown. And this has given us that sparkly gown. I cut it away like we just did this one in the same way. Now, I need this to be a little bit more whiter. So again, I'm just going to take my white ink pad. I'm just going to bring it back to life just a little bit more. So basically, I have two nice white images. So you can see how this one's super white and this one's not so white. I'm going to try and bring this one back a little bit and make it a little bit whiter. There we go. Now she's got nice white hair and he's got a nice white suit on there. So I'm happy now. They're back to being white. So let's get this card built. And this is to show you that all of the 6 designs do cross-pollinate. They all work really well. And they are an integral part of the whole collection, which is going to give you that celebratory theme. So I have a card blank. This is a square one. And then I have the design from the mount without, and I have the design with the table with the sparkle. So it's down to you and personal preference. I'm going to go with the table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it onto this piece of white to make it pop. I just grab my tape pen. Oh, that one not working. No, swap that one. for this one. This could be a renewing your vows if you want to. And I was asked for this particular sort of collection, the bride and the groom and the abbey, simply because nobody's done it before and I haven't seen it before. So if you were wanting something a little bit unique and something a little bit different, then I've totally done it for you all. So there's that lovely table and the chairs. So you could colour theme them if you wanted to. So I have that lovely sparkle on the top of the tree and on the chairs. And then we'll pop this onto our card. Make sure my card's the right way. We'll pop this onto here like so. And then we'll bring in our lovely bride and groom. We'll just add some colour. Sorry, not some colour, some pads. And we'll stick so this is telling a beautiful story, and I love cards that tell a story. I'm a visual storyteller. If anybody said to me, what's my style of craft? I like cards that tell a story, like people can transport themselves to that place or feel that place. Like at Christmas, we did all the cabins and the fires, and I felt like people really got a sense of, they could smell the woody tones. They felt like they were sat by the fire, and I think this collection does that really well as well. You can feel that the love is in the air. You can feel yourself sat at that table waiting for the prawn cocktail or whatever it may be. So let's just pop this on here. Happy looks good on you. And there we go, quite simply. It's a very dark card, but I think it's really romantic. So that's the painted mounts and the bride and groom and that wonderful table and chairs, and then the lovely church in the background.
You know what I see when I look at that, Tony? Because it is a dark card and there's lots of white lines on it, it makes me think of scraper board. You know what?
Yeah, it does, my son.
Yeah, it looks like it was.
My son does that, Martin.
That's right. It looked like it was originally all black, and you've actually etched that with a sharp knife. So good work, Tony.
Yeah.
Knock that up quickly.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you in a couple of minutes, Tony. Thank you very much indeed. A quick reminder, of course, don't spend all your time watching the demos. Don't miss out on this. Check out your baskets if you've got some in there. This is your one-day special, extraordinary value for money. And the images are superb. Don't forget also you've got 6 three-dimensional and embossing folders in there. These are love cards. These are cards for people who are in love, getting married, getting engaged, renewing their vows. Maybe they met in Paris, whatever it might be. I always say as well, right, that never ever choose your craft stash because you like it. If you sell your cards, you always have to think about the people that are going to buy it. You might love cute snowmen. You can't make a living off selling cute snowmen cards, I'm sure. But if you've got a nice varied display on your craft stall, somebody's going to walk past and go, oh, look, that'd be gorgeous for my husband or my wife or girlfriend or whatever it might be. So it's always good to offer a good selection, in my humble opinion. Don't forget we have a happy hour, and you've only got 15 minutes to get that now. The happy hour is called A Little Love, and it is a beautiful die set from Stamps by Me, and you're actually getting 6 dies in there, and it is 659889. Okay, I'm not going to mess around this time. I'm going to let you know that there are 17 days to go to Sandown. Are you going to be there?
Tickets are now on sale for Crafting Live at the Sandown Park Racecourse on the 19th and 20th of January. Sign up for your free make and takes, stock up on all your crafting goodies from a vast range of exhibitors, and watch live guest demonstrations. We will also be broadcasting live, so join our audience to meet our presenters after the show. Club members order your tickets online and reserve free entry. So treat yourself or someone special to a great day out, and book your tickets now at crateandcraft.com and search for Crafting Live. We look forward to seeing you there.
Yep, looking forward to Sandown coming up very, very soon. Right, let's not mess around. You've all seen it. You're all absolutely loving it. I think we should get back to Toni. We've got about 12 minutes or so left, I think, something like that. So let's get some demoing in. Back to you, Toni.
Thank you, Martin. So what I'm going to do this time is we're going to change it up. We're going to do a bit of vellum. with the Abbey using the wonderful papers that are incorporated in that kit. So I have some vellum this time that's got a pink undertone with a little bit of script in there, but you can use any vellum you want to, okay? So let's experiment with some vellum on this one, on the Abbey. So I don't want to waste it, so I'm just going to do it over to the side here. So I cleaned Abbey whilst Martin was talking there because it had ink on it. They really do clean up beautifully. Do not worry about putting ink on your embossing folders. They are cool. They give longevity with your craft. They really do. So I'm just going to run this one through, and you're going to get a lovely sort of parchment effect or something like that. But experiment with all the different card layers and textures you have in your stash. So if you've got mirror board and glitter card and leather effect paper, all of the stuff that we sell year in, year out, experiment with your embossing folders with them, because really you can do so much with them. So here we go. So if I tilt this one forward, oh, there we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see the work in there. So that's embossed, and then check out the deboss. Just look at that. It's breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. I love this one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tear the vellum now. Which side? I like this side better, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear the vellum down one side, not straight, just down one side, like so. So I've got that lovely torn edge there, which is giving us that lovely look there. And then I'm just going to do the same down this side. So I don't want it to be straight. It's near on straight. If I'd have wanted straight, it'd have been wonky. You could have guaranteed that. But anyway, let's just move this to one side here. And then I have that lovely sort of chateau paper with that lovely fleck of sunlight coming through the trees there as well. So I'm just going to take my lovely Abbey. So I could do it in the centre actually. Oh, let's do it off to the side. Let's do it off to the side and then we'll trim it. So I'm just going to take it just a little bit lower here, or a little bit higher. Then we'll fold it over and we will tape it down. I'm just going to wrap the vellum around the back of this patterned paper. Now, anything that I'm showing you here will work with any of the products. The mount, it will work with the watercolour artistry. You know, all depends on what style of card you absolutely like. So I'm just going to turn this over, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to chamfer off this edge to make it neat. So our Abbey's just sat on the right-hand side here. And then we have the Abbey off to the right of that beautiful design. And then we'll pop this onto a card. Super easy. You've seen me, I must have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of demos using embossing folders. 2023, we launched over nearly 300 embossing folders. So I know you've seen me use them a lot in so many different ways. So, you know, dig them out and have a play with them, because they do all work beautifully together. And I say that, and when I just grab one of these samples on here, just to show you, this one in particular, if you look at this one here, that's the bride and groom there, but it works beautifully with the florals we've brought you, and then incorporate the pattern papers that you have. I mean, these are the ones that are in this collection, but, you know, you will all have beautiful papers from us here at Stamps by Me. So, you know, build them together, because they really, really do work. I cannot tell you how beautifully they work with, that's that beautiful easel, just in white. I mean, that would have been a beautiful card in itself, but then you incorporate the florals, and this is the card that we did earlier, where I gilded around to give it that gold look, and then we popped that design in the centre, and that just says enjoy your day. It doesn't have to be a massive card. It doesn't have to have a ton of embellishments. It doesn't have to be bright and breezy. Sometimes the simplest of cards are the best. So then I've got another sentiment here that says best wishes. And because you have all the sentiments in your stash, you can totally make them your own. It could do with a bow, but I'm not a bow kind of girl, but I am visual in you, putting a lovely bow down that side there. So super, super simple, but I think it really, really does pack a punch, because it's got so much detail in there.
Much indeed, Tony. Now, I know you've got time to squeeze something else in for us, so I'm going to give everybody some of the examples we have in the studio while you get yourself ready. We have some lovely examples in the studio done by the design team and sent in. Take a look at them. These all sort of evoke that wonderful Paris sort of feel to them. And, you know, I mean, this one here, this doesn't obviously show any of Paris, but you've got this wonderful embossed couple and the great day. Love that. This one feels almost magical with the sort of the snowdrops or the splatters on there. There's one over here that's very floral. I love that circular sort of table, that restaurant, outdoor restaurant, sort of street side table, if you like. That is just beautiful. It really is. Fantastic embossing on there as well. So you can see this is an incredible select collection. It's a great one-day special. I think this is going to be incredibly busy tomorrow as well. So do stay tuned tomorrow morning at 10 and at 2. But with 6 minutes left, I'm going to get it back over to Tony so we can end off with a little bit more creativity.
So I'm going to show you on a couple of different cardstocks here. So I have the family gathering. I love this table. I'm obsessed. And then I have some mirror board, which has got a bit of detail in there just to show you. So I'm going to pop this inside. Now, although mirror board is plastic, you can still swipe with your ink pad. So you can swipe it with white and bring it back to life as well, as long as you heat set it. Or you could sprinkle some embossing powder on and get the salt and pepper technique as well. So you really do have options. So this is a 6x6 embossing folder. So let's run this one through. Just move my embossing folder back so it can grab. There we go. And then experiment with colour as well, because you can see from all of the lovely samples. My design team absolutely rocked this collection. There's so many different samples. So here we go. Now, there's a card in itself. I don't think that needs much else, if I'm completely honest. Now, if you do have a small sentiment, you could literally emboss a ton of these on different coloured holographic cards. Let people choose. Like Martin says, if you sell your cards, you could let people choose what colour they like the most. But equally, you could now go over with an ink pad, a black ink pad, if you wanted to. But I'm just going to swap that out. I'm just going to take a piece of craft. And we're going to swap out for a different one. Let's do... I can't keep doing the Abbey, Tony. Can't keep doing the Abbey. So I'm going to do the lovely easel. I did a demo with this one earlier. Let's do one with this one now. So I'm just going to pop this on here. Just get the cardstock cut to size. And let's do a nice vintage easel. So with this one, now you can ink your embossing folder up in white. But I think we'll go vintage. Shall we do a brown? Let's do a walnut stain. What's the worst that could happen? It might look like a hot mess, and I'll recover it in the morning at 10 o'clock. So, the ink pad, swipe, 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 swipe. And don't worry if you get ink everywhere else, because it does give the embossing folder a little bit more appeal rather than just a stagnant design. So that's that. And then on this side, now, you could swipe with several colours, but, you know, so that's sort of, shall we add a bit of blue as well? Why not? So let's just pop that to one side for now. I'm pushing it now, aren't I? Let's add a bit of blue too. Not much. I'm not going to spray this one either, I don't think. I'm trying to go for a bit of a grungy. And then we'll do it onto craft instead of white. So the front of our embossing folder is this here because of the HD 3D. And we'll just pop our craft card in here. You could spray it. I'm not going to spray it this time. So let's see what happens. And then we will run this one through. I'm not scared of embossing folders. I love to
2.5 minutes left. Just so you know, Tony, we've got about 2.5 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. I'm a little bit fearful sometimes to experiment with die cutting and sometimes with stamping. But with embossing folders, I'm pretty carefree because I just love embossing folders, and I think it shows because I really don't care if I can try and recover it if it doesn't quite work out. Now, here we go. So this looks very arty already. So we could spray this with water as it is. Really, I don't think there's any rules. Then we could get some tissue and do a bleaching effect. Let me just grab some tissue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that easel to the front with a white. So let's do a little bit of bleaching. And then let's get our white ink pad, because I'm running out of time fast. And let's just bring that easel back to the foreground. I love this technique. It's so cool. And just bring that easel back to the front. And then all I've got to do is stamp a design in there and say, you are amazing, Martin.
Fantastic. Toni, thank you so much. You know, absolutely brilliant demos, a brilliant one-day special. And you'll be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning?
I will. I'll see you then.
Okay, take care, stay dry, and we look forward to seeing you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Bye, Toni.
Bye, darling.
Awesome. Awesome. Always great to see the lovely Toni Darroch, and so glad that we were able to have her here. You know, even if via the internet, I think she would have struggled an awful lot to get here today anyway, in the weather that we've had. Right, I've got a minute left to remind you that you can order this after the show. You will see it repeated again this evening. It'll probably be on overnight, and then, of course, you'll get another live show with it at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Stamps by Me, one of the premier brands that we bring you. This is 6 high-definition 3D embossing folders, and, of course, some incredible card stock to go with it. You've got a happy hour that's going to go up in price in 3.5 minutes' time. And, of course, we continue with the amazing January sales that we've been bringing you. If you've tuned in late tonight and you haven't seen Stephanie's Painting Perfection, new and exclusive, and you love Cadence paints, you need to watch that show, because those Cadence paints are £12.50 for 5 70 millers. That's really, really good. Oh, dear. So it leaves me to say thank you very much for your company. My shift has a couple of days off now. Dan, Charlie and I will be back on Friday, and we look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, have a great rest of the week, and Happy New Year if I've